At the start of the movie, we are shown two men. One of them was driving the taxi, while the other sat in the back. He was dressed in a black and red suit. The name of this man is Deadpool. He was going somewhere and was talking to the taxi driver. He tells him that he has been looking for his enemy for more than a year. "I want to find him soon and finish him." The taxi driver asks him, "Why are you searching for him?" Deadpool replies, "To take revenge on him. He has ruined my face. He has done many experiments on my body." Deadpool shows him his face by taking off his mask. He says, "See for yourself." While conversing with him, he glances at the back seat and realizes that his bag of weapons is missing. He says to the taxi driver, "Shit, I forgot the bag there. Now I just have to use these two swords." This time he only had two swords. He also had a gun with only 12 bullets. Deadpool jumps from the taxi as it crosses the bridge. He begins drawing by moving his legs like a child. Meanwhile, he sees the cars of his enemy. He immediately goes there and kills his enemy's companions with the bullets from his gun. It is revealed to us that the name of Deadpool's enemy is Francis. He was a huge villain and a bad man. The fact that Deadpool and Francis are fighting becomes well known and widely circulated. This news is also broadcast on TV. Then we see a giant man in a house. That man becomes aggressive upon seeing this news. He calls a teenage girl who has short hair, and they go to meet Deadpool in anger. Now, we are told the story of the past when Deadpool was a normal human. He hadn't become Deadpool yet. His name was Wade. He goes to a bar. His friend was also there, and a fight was going on between a giant man and someone else. Wade was enjoying watching all of this. Meanwhile, a girl comes to Wade. Her name was Vanessa. She comes and starts talking with Wade, and she likes him. Slowly, they become friends. They were together for 1 year. But one day, Wade faints and falls down. After regaining consciousness, he undergoes some tests. He comes to know that he has cancer in his brain, liver, and lungs. Now, the scene shifts back to Deadpool. While fighting, Francis runs away. But then Deadpool hears a voice, as if Francis's wife is following him. When Deadpool looks back, there is Francis. Deadpool stabs his sword into Francis. Francis's nose starts bleeding. Deadpool says, "Today I have taken my revenge." With that, Deadpool shows him his face by taking off his mask. Francis says, "So you are that person." While they were talking, the Steel Man comes from behind. He picks up Wade and throws him. From here, the story shifts back to the past. Vanessa was saying to Wade, "Don't worry, I will be with you. We will start the treatment together." But Wade says, "No, Vanessa, I can't see you like this. If something happens to me, what will you do?" Saying this, he leaves the place and goes to a bar. He sits with his friend, and his friend says to him, "There's a man who has been waiting for you for a long time. Go and meet him." When Deadpool goes and meets that man, he says to Deadpool, "I know you have a disease and you want to cure it. I can help you with that. But there's more. I can also give you superpowers." But Deadpool replies, "No, I want to live my life as a normal human." Saying this, he leaves. From here, the scene shifts to the present. The Steel Man asks Deadpool, "What's the problem with you? Why are you using your powers for the wrong reasons?" Deadpool responds, "Don't lecture me. I will take revenge on those who have wronged me." Then the teenager says to Deadpool, "Look behind you." When Deadpool turns around, he sees that Francis has run away. He shouts and starts beating the Steel Man. But because the Steel Man was so strong, Deadpool's wrists and a leg break. The Steel Man says, "You've made me insane," and hits Deadpool hard, sending him flying a great distance. Then, the Steel Man ties Deadpool's wrists together and drags him away. Deadpool reacts strangely. He cuts off his own hand. Deadpool jumps off the bridge and falls into a garbage truck. From here, the scene shifts back to the past when Deadpool was still human, known as Wade. He was unconscious. When he opens his eyes, he finds himself in a strange place with two people around him. They inject something into his body and perform various experiments on him. They torture him a lot, making his condition worse. They did all these things to torture Wade in hopes of inducing mutations in his body. Despite the intense torture, there was no change in Wade's body. They were trying to create mutations, but nothing seemed to work. Francis comes to Wade and throws him into a chamber with no oxygen. Inside, Wade struggles to breathe, and his body begins to change, as if someone had thrown acid on him. His skin starts burning. Francis starts talking to him, but Wade remains silent. As Francis leaves, Wade pulls out a matchstick he had hidden in his mouth. A pipe connected to the chamber led straight to a cylinder. Wade lights the match and throws it at the pipe, causing the fire to spread to the lab. Wade escapes and starts attacking Francis. But because Wade's body was so weak, he couldn't fight back effectively. Francis picks up a rod and stabs it into Wade. Meanwhile, the lab continues to burn, with its parts falling down around them. Francis escapes, but Wade is left behind. Many hours pass and the fire finally stops, and Wade is buried beneath them. But when Wade emerges from the ashes, he's surprised. He's not dead. The challenge worked. The experiments had caused mutations in his body, giving him a multitude of superpowers. Now, Wade is immortal and can heal any part of his body. However, the downside is that his body is now horribly scarred, as we saw earlier. Wade becomes worried about Vanessa, thinking she must be searching for him. He goes straight to find her, but everyone he passes stares at him strangely, as if he looks weird. Wade, not knowing what he looks like, continues to search for Vanessa. When he finally sees his reflection in a mirror, he is devastated. "Vanessa will never accept me," he says, staring at his disfigured face. Feeling hopeless, Wade goes to a bar and meets his friend. He shows his friend his face and says, "Vanessa will never call me again." His friend asks, "What's the solution?" Wade responds, "There was a man in this bar who said he could cure my disease." His friend then says, "If that man is gone, then find the one who ruined your face. He's the only one who can fix it. He thinks you're dead and doesn't know you have superpowers. That's why he left you there. So, my brother, do this. Prepare a mask and suit for yourself so he can't recognize you, and then search for him and take your revenge. I'll call you Deadpool." And so Wade becomes Deadpool. He goes home and makes a mask from a white cloth. This marks the beginning of his journey to find Francis. It's been a year since he started searching for Francis, and when he couldn't find him, he killed Francis's companions. Finally, the time comes when he creates a proper black and red suit for himself. Finally, the day comes when Deadpool gets news of Francis's whereabouts. He meets a man who claims he can cure Deadpool's disease. Deadpool immediately suspects this man is connected to Francis and demands to know where Francis is. The man, frightened, tells him. The scene shifts back to the beginning of the movie, where Deadpool is in a taxi. The past and present merge, and the real story begins. Deadpool, who had fallen into a junk truck, wakes up. He is surprised to find that the truck has stopped at an old lady's house. This woman, blind and unaware of his disfigured face, becomes his friend. Deadpool often visits her to do laundry, and she suggests he make his suit in red and black. Deadpool tells her what happened to him and reveals that if any part of his body gets damaged, it heals and regrows due to his superpowers. He asks if he can stay until his hand regrows. Meanwhile, Francis is with the female friend. They go to Wade's friend, the bartender, and demand to know Wade's whereabouts. The woman recognizes Vanessa from a picture and suggests that finding Vanessa will lead them to Wade. After they leave, Wade's friend calls him and informs him of everything. Worried, Wade goes to the bar where Vanessa works. He asks everyone if they've seen her, but when he finally sees Vanessa, he loses the courage to talk to her, fearing she will be horrified by his appearance. He retreats to the bathroom, and while he's there, someone tells Vanessa that someone is looking for her. Excited, Vanessa goes outside, but Wade isn't there. Instead, Francis and his friend kidnap her. When Deadpool comes out of the bathroom, ready to talk to Vanessa, she's gone. Then he receives a text from Francis, who also uses the alias Ajax. The message says that if Deadpool wants Vanessa back, he must come to a specific location, gathers all his weapons, and recruits the Steel Man and the teenage girl with short hair, and head to the junkyard where Francis is waiting. However, Deadpool forgets his weapons bag in the taxi again. Frustrated, he realizes he only has a sword to fight with. Francis and his female companion stand on top of a container, and she jumps down to fight the teenage girl. Meanwhile, the Steel Man hurls large tires at Francis's companion. The fights are intense, But when Deadpool sees that his companions are holding their own, he seizes the opportunity to go after Francis, who is still on the container. As Deadpool and Francis fight, Francis's friend chokes the Steel Man. The teenage girl sees this and unleashes all her powers on the woman, causing a huge explosion that sends containers flying. Vanessa, trapped in a glass chamber, starts falling. Francis also falls off the container. Deadpool rushes to save Vanessa and successfully pulls her out of the chamber. But Francis attacks again, and a container crushes Deadpool. However, he heals quickly and confronts Francis once more. Deadpool asks Francis to fix his face, but Francis laughs and mocks him, saying, "You think I can make your face fine?" In response, Deadpool pulls out a small gun and is about to shoot Francis. The Steel Man, seeing this, shouts, "Deadpool, are you really going to use your powers for evil? You're a hero, and you can't do this." But Deadpool ignores him and shoots Francis in the face. Vanessa approaches Deadpool and starts hitting him with punches. Deadpool, accepting the blows, says, "Okay, hit me. I know you're right and you should punch me, but I have something to show you that will make you not want to be with me anymore." Vanessa asks, "What is it?" Deadpool replies, "Take off my mask and you'll see for yourself." Vanessa removes the mask. When she takes that off, she sees Deadpool's real face, badly burned and scarred. Vanessa looks at him and says, "What's so bad about it? Your eyes, nose, and mouth are all fine. It's just a skin issue, and everyone has skin issues. Not everyone has flawless skin. I'll get used to it, but I will never leave you." So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Follow for more videos.